Ew, that's gross. Don't you know how much bacteria grows on your hand?
I just washed my hands.
Still, think of all the things you touched after you washed your hands.
Well, it's better than touching the bottom of your foot.
No, your hand grows more bacteria.
No, your foot does.
No, your hand does.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Taylor, and today we're going to find out if the hand or the foot contains more bacteria on its surface.
So I hypothesize that the palm of the hand will contain more bacteria than the heel of the foot. What do you think, Taylor?
I disagree, Elizabeth. I hypothesize that the heel of the foot will contain more bacteria than the palm of the hand.
Okay, let's put our hypothesis to the test.
Good idea, but how are we going to test it?
Another good idea. Let's see. Let's go brainstorm it and come back in a few minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
So, what did you come up with?
Well, I wrote it down. We'll have 3 experimental groups and 1 control group.
Oh, that's a good idea. And for the 3 experimental groups, we could have someone walking outside barefoot and touching everything around them, or walking around the house touching everything around them. And the last one could be playing with the dog, like petting it and all that kind of stuff, barefoot and with no gloves or anything like that.
Oh, that'll work. Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, and before each trial, we should wash our hands and feet thoroughly with warm water and soap.
That's a good idea too. How are we going to collect the bacteria? We could collect it by, after each trial, we'll swab our hands and our feet, and then we'll just put it in a petri dish.
Good idea.
Okay, let's see. But how are we going to let it grow?
We can use an incubator.
Oh yeah, and then we can let it, the incubator will be at 37 Celsius, and that way it'll cultivate, the bacteria will cultivate over time.
And we'll also have 3 trials for each experiment group, and only 1 trial for the control group, so we can get the average of all of them.
Yeah, let's do that. All right.
Okay. So for this experiment, we'll need 20 sterile swabs, 7 petri dishes, and what else should we use?
We're going to need an incubator so the bacteria can grow, 2 willing volunteers, which could just be me and you. And lastly, bleach, so we can get rid of the bacteria once we've collected all our data and the experiment's done.
Great, so let's get started.
All right. results of all the experiments after it has been in the incubator at 37 Celsius for around 5 days. The hands and feet trials are separated in 2 different petri dishes. As you can see in the control group, there were more colonies in the feet than in the hands. The same was to be found true in experiment 1.
In experiment 2, the feet trials have a significant more amount of colonies than in the hands trial. However, in experiment 3, the hand trials overpowered the trials of the feet, but it was only by a few colonies.
We determined that our myth is plausible.
In experiments 1 and 2 and the control group support my hypothesis, which was that your foot surface contains more bacteria than your hand.
However, in experiment 3, it's shown that the hand surface contains more bacteria than the foot, so it supports my hypothesis.
Therefore, the amount of bacteria on your hands and feet depend on the environment you are in.
But on an average day when you are not petting your dog or gardening, your feet will have more bacteria. Of course, in every experiment, there are errors and mistakes that may occur. What do you think ours were?
One error could be that the environment we conducted our experiments in wasn't under our control. For example, it was raining in the second and third experiments,
Which was walking outside and petting the dog.
so we don't know how much that affected the growth of bacteria.
Oh. Another error was during our first attempts of the experiment when we put the petri dishes in the wrong incubator, which could have affected the bacteria growth.
Another mistake could have happened when we walked through the house to get outside to conduct our second and third experiments.
So what could have we done differently to make this experiment more efficient?
One improvement we could have made was washing our hands and feet outside during the second and third experiments.
Also, we could swab our hands and feet in a controlled environment.
You guys should try this at home and see what results you guys come up with.
Yeah, it's fun, simple, and safe.
Bye.